Hello everyone. I hope you are all doing well today. I was sitting here making some mini clusters and thought I would film a little as I go so that you could see what I'm doing. Last week on my Instagram stories, I showed my silhouette machine running for hours. So I was cutting out a bunch of pockets, library pockets. This is them. All the different colors of single-sided cardstock that I had. When I was cleaning up, I created a stash of, or a stack, I should say, paper to cut, paper to stamp, paper to collage with, just so I could get papers organized since I have so many. So these pockets end up looking like this once they're all assembled. They're like library pockets. So I created a big old stack. So these need to be assembled, and then they look like this. And I use these in my junk journals, in the little goldens that I alter. I also use them with my word snippets that I list in my shop. They go in here and they sell as a set, and then the envelope's decorated. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now, is decorating some pockets. So not only did I cut a bunch of pockets, I also found a tab file for page tabs on the Silhouette Studio. So I cut a bunch of those so that I could play with this. I watch Krafty by Tony a lot, and she does a lot of decorated page tabs, and I noticed that Louisa has done some too, so I thought I would give it a go and give it a shot and see how they turn out and what they look like. And so now I have a stack of these different shapes that I was playing with today. So after that, I ended up with a bunch of scraps. So with my scraps, I decided to add some inks and some stamps and create snippets. I ended up with a basket, literally a basket of different snippets that I made, stamped out, fussy cut some, and then used my Big Shot with the Sizzix dies to cut some of the others. Some were hand cut, trimmed. I do have some in here that were punched with dies, so you guys can see that. This, I used the Stampers Anonymous Field Notes set. Excuse me. I used a postal set. I'm really bad with the names. I don't remember exactly which ones they were. And then some older ones that I had. But I have all of these snippets now that I can use for clusters and embellishments and tags and all the other good stuff. So I also used the 49th and Market. They have a stamp set that also has coordinating dies. I don't know if you can see that. Did I get that close enough to focus? I am still learning my setup here, so if it's out of focus, I do apologize. I have my camera set up above my table on a rig my husband made for me, but the only issue is I cannot see my phone screen at all. So I'm just kind of guessing on where I am. So if you have any tips for me, that would be amazing. I'd love to hear from you. But back to this, I have all types. I actually have 2 baskets full that I made just from the scraps, cutting pockets and tabs. So we're going to use them. I'm going to use them today, and I'm just going to film a little while I do. Hopefully I stay within frame. I hope it is in focus. I have to get up on my tiptoes to even reach it. I don't know if you guys can see my shadow. My lighting is weird. I'm still working on the filming part of this whole project. So I'm going to stick all these back in here, and I'm going to do a few clusters, and then I'll show you what I did with them with the other ones that I've already made. So let me just slide these over. I'm going to scoot this right off camera a little bit. Well, it's got to be off camera so I have space here. I also have a bunch that I've done before, some stamped labels. I just use the label stamp on different paper. These are blank, and then I have a set that I've stamped inside of them already. So I'll be using all of these little pieces. Let's see. Focus, maybe. Yes, I think. I hope, really hope this is in focus. So I have a bunch of stuff that I've been prepping so that when I do make my clusters, I have everything ready to go. I'm putting all of these little boxes just up at the top of above my workstation, my mat. So I'll be reaching and grabbing for those. And then I have my glue. I'm using the art glitter glue. I have my vintage photo ink pad. Oops. Distress ink. I have a small sander that I'm going to be using. I do have a little bit of just this one roll of washi out that I've used today. And then I'm also using some of the cello sticker tape. Love, love, love this stuff. I might just order like a case. I don't know, maybe. Okay, so when I do my clusters, I like to start with a bigger piece. When I'm doing multiples, I try to find a pattern, I guess you could say, that I like, and then I replicate it in a way that makes it a little easier for me, but they're not all exactly the same. So I just use all the different pieces. So I like to start with a bigger piece, whether it's like a field label or a larger tag, medium-sized tag. And I like to layer and offset. So hopefully that makes sense when, as I'm working. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of distress on this. Some of my pieces are distressed already. I distress them and throw them in the containers. The big stack that I just made, I didn't go in and distress them all because I didn't know if I was going to use brown or darker brown or maybe even a color. Sometimes I do mix it up a little bit. But for this one, I'm going to go with a different sized rectangle. So it's the Field Notes label. This is the Collect label, which is all in the same sheet. Slightly overlap. I might even grab a tag, maybe even a blank tag, or excuse me, label piece to add a little bit of interest there, a little dimension. I like to lay it out first before I glue, because I will admit I do overthink things. And I noticed, watching my other video back, I say a lot. So I will work on that. I am still, like I said, new to filming myself. I have this weird thing. I think my voice is weird, but I think everybody says that, right? When they hear themselves talk, that they don't like the way they sound. Yeah, so I do have that. And I know it's probably in my head, but it kind of messes with me a little. So I hope you can see what I'm doing here. See if I can zoom in a tiny, tiny bit without knocking everything weird. Okay. So I am going to actually start gluing now because I have this idea here. So I'm going to go with a tab on top of, and this one was printed on, excuse me, not printed, stamped on coffee dyed paper. And it's, I could see the red line in there, so I believe it was binder paper. Coffee dyed some binder paper at one point, so it's a lot thinner. When I'm doing a lot of things that stack, I like to use different paper weight so that things don't get too heavy. So if I know I'm using snippet pieces to stack, I'll give myself one piece that's a heavier cardstock type, and then this lighter as I build up. But sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I give it a go. This is going to go under here to give it a little contrast. I wanted to see the number, I think. So that's how I have that so far. I am going to add some cheesecloth. I do like this. I use it. Uh-oh, what did I do with my scissors? I was moving everything around trying to get my table set to film the right way. So hopefully it still works here. Okay, cheesecloth. I try to open it up without shredding it. If you open it too much and you pull too much, the fibers do start to separate. I'm down to the end of it, so now it looks like it's all twisted. So I do have to open it up, but I'm going to add some of that in here. Just add some glue, some adhesive, and spread it around. And then lay my cheesecloth in here, like such. Rub off my gluey hands. Okay, so that's the start of my cluster. Let's see, where am I? There I am. And then I go for a focal point. Sometimes I'll leave them like this and store them in my little finished pocket in my drawer where I have almost finished things or things I could use right away. Sometimes I'll leave them this way if I'm not sure exactly what I'm going for. With these, I am using some of the 49th and Market laser cut dies. There's the, here we go, Nature Study Mushroom and Foliage. I love these mushrooms, they're super cute. And then there's another one, and I actually don't remember, maybe I kept, yep, I did keep it. And this is the Krafty Garden, which I really like these two. These are really cute. These are definitely bigger. So when I'm doing tags, I use these more often. But I am using some of the smaller pieces when I'm working on these little clusters. So this daisy came out of here. I think I'm going to use that on this. Oops, getting fell down. And then maybe a butterfly or even two daisies, I think. Let me put this down. And I'm going to use this other daisy here. Two different kinds. Do I want two different types or two of the same? Let's see here. There's another one that's, oops, right here. That's the same. It's just a little smaller. I go with two of the same. Nope, I like two different. I like to mix it up. I might even use this butterfly. So I'm just going to stick that there just to see. Oops, this is going to fall out. Okay. So I'm going to just add a little bit of color to this so it stands out a little bit more. Gives that a little bit of different dimension. Some adhesive. I'm going to go here and then, whoops, add a little bit to this one. And go down here. Maybe even down here. Maybe there. And then, nope, that's too much white. So we'll save that butterfly for another time. I also have some of the, I have this cut already, but it's the 49th and Market washi tape pieces. And I like to cut off a strip and then try and use it instead of having the whole roll, because sometimes they'll roll away. But I do like the pink, so I think I might use that one. I'm going to add this. These are washi stickers. If they don't come off, another thing I've used is I have, which I bought to go with my silhouette, and I got this from, it's like a pick tool. I got this from Harbor Freight. I believe it's the same that they sell for the Cricut, but you can use it to help you get underneath these. I noticed once I started painting my nails a little bit more often, I could never pick these things off. So I have this tool that I also leave ready to go. But I'm going to use this pink butterfly and add it right in here. I'm going to give it a small little sand with the sander to give it some grip, and also to, whoops, make it so it doesn't look super shiny. And then I have my little cluster ready to go. Oh, wait, camera's over here. Sorry, guys. Still working on that, like I said. So there's a cluster. So I do a couple of these, and then I add them to pockets. So if I have my pockets, then I can bring out a couple colors and see if I like it on the blue, or if I like it on the brown. The brown is pretty. It's a lot of brown. I think I like it on the blue better. If I went with, like the eye doctor says, A or B. That one's a tough one. I might like the brown, actually. I also have different colors. Nope. Nope. This is another brown. That might work for it. Oh, that one looks nice too. Or, I don't know if I tried this blue. A different blue. Nah, I think I like that one. So, I'll stick it on there. Scoot these over and add this. So, clusters that I can use on pockets. Or I have some that I did one on a tag today, but I added a lot of other things to it, so then you couldn't really see it as well, but I'll still show it to you. But there's the first one. So when I have them like this, oops, I keep going that wrong way. I've already, when I assembled the pockets, I ink them and I have them so they're ready to go. So this could be used for a journaling card that you can, I had one here, sorry. Where'd it go? Nope, let me grab another one. My drawer of card bases here. These are journaling cards that are the bases that I can keep working on. So they're almost like prepped, so you could say. Prepped and ready. So if, let's just say, I want to use this one, I can add it in, and it's ready to go. So there's a journaling pocket. Library pocket, excuse me, not a journaling pocket. So there's one. So I'm going to make one more and then show you the ones that I already did today, just as a little peek of what I have going on at my desk. So I'm going to do one more, and I'm going to start with the tag this time. I thinks. And let's go with some of the Tim Holtz snippets instead of the ones I stamped here. Let's see, let me show you this. I'm digging through, so it's not totally off camera. But I have some of the Tim Holtz snippets. That one's a little long for me. I also have these little pieces, which I'm part of the Tim Holtz Addicts group, and someone had mentioned, what do you do with the beautiful packaging that's left? These are from the backdrops and the transparencies, and I cut the little images out. I got through one and I was thinking, what the heck am I doing? But I've actually used these little pieces in here just as a little bit of color. That one doesn't really match, so it's kind of hard to show you, but let's see. That one's got a leaf on it. This one's the map backdrop that looks like it's a maybe a city map, but they're small enough that you could just add them just to add a little bit of color. So let's see, I pulled out some things. Let's see what I can do with what I have here. This one is too big, so I'm gonna stick that back Maybe, nah. Sorry, I brought it back out. I'm gonna grab a couple more little ones. Maybe that. I need some color here. How about, oops, I'm not showing you what I'm doing. Maybe even this one. Okay, let's work with, see what if I can work with this. I have a couple of little pieces on the side over here too. So let's see here. Let's go with some blue and possibly text. Yes, and some color. Let's use this green one, this small one. Sure you can see. I did figure out how to mirror my phone onto my computer, but my computer's way over there. So I don't think I can adjust from my computer to my filming, but again, I'm newbie, so I'm not really sure. I don't really like that. There's not enough color there. Not really sure exactly if I'm doing this right. So any feedback you want to give me, I'll take it. If it's nasty, then I'll just like skim over it. But you know. Let's see. How about, I think I need something bigger. Maybe a ticket. There we go. Let's work with that. So this is another ticket that I stamped and then punched. This is is it called the tickets? Vintage tickets, maybe? From the Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous and the Framelits. This one has matching dies, which is nice. So I think I'm gonna use that. So let's get some ink going on over here. And some ink going on over here. Okay, I'm gonna go this way. So I'm gonna add, oh, I left the sun. Come on, be my friend. Thank you. Add some glue there. I think this ticket's the wrong color. I have also a drawer of tickets that I've collected and or stamped. Got some from Tim Holtz book and some from, that's kind of cute. And some that I've stamped. Some are, oh, what about this one? Kind of like that. Nope, too much. Don't change it. Don't change it too much. Or even just tickets I've had. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with the blue one. Sometimes you just have to decide. Otherwise you spend forever trying to figure out which one you want. So rough this up a little bit. I'll roughen up my fingers. And because it's the packaging, the Tim Holtz packaging, it will take off some of the color because it's a little glossy. So I'm going to scratch it up a little so I can add some ink, and it'll take the ink a little bit better. And then also so it's not shiny compared to other things that I've stamped. So I'm going to add this for some color. I might even go this way. Perhaps. Yep. Like that. And excuse me, I have ink on my glue on my fingers. This is another Tim Holtz layers piece, ephemera piece. Oops, I added glue to it, too much glue, because that side's gonna be hanging off. A bit. Go. Oh yeah, see, I stuck down, but that's okay. And then another color. Yeah, I like it. Then I can even use the butterfly. Nope, not that butterfly. You're still gonna stay there, Mr. Butterfly. We're not using you yet. But I can use a bigger piece or a floral. Let's see here. I go bigger with this. That might even work too. Let's see here. Like this little daisy piece here. It's like a little wildflower, which softens that up quite a bit. So let me add some ink to this one. I might even add, maybe I'll just blend this out a little so that it's not so bold. There we go. So we're going to use this. And then the floral on top. Yep. All right. I try to get as much as I can stuck down, because these little fine detailed laser cuts do lift up a bit. I don't want it to get snagged on something and rip off. So it's the benefit of this little needle point, fine point glue adhesive. So I'm going to go this way with my flower. It does dry clear, so that's a benefit too. And there we go. So I have this bigger piece, or another cluster. I can continue to work on my pockets. Let's see. And build more pockets, like such. Or if I'm working on tags, then maybe I'll grab a tag base. Or I think the circles might be too small. I also have a drawer of circle bases that I've already worked on and cut. So these are also something that's ready to go. But let's just say I needed to make it a little bigger. I could add a circle or an oval behind it to build it up. I have more circles right now than ovals because I use them, but you could add more to your cluster to make it bigger depending on where you're placing it. So that's why I like to start with small ones. So I can keep building behind based on what I'm building. So I'm going to actually grab, no, I think I'm just going to make the pocket, just finish up the few pockets and then show you the pockets I've already made. So I'm going to add this one to here. And there we go. So those are just, that's two. And I made some earlier. So I'm going to close this up real quick and then I'm going to show you what I made today. Okay, so we just did, slide this stuff off the side, put this back, put that back. Okay, close up my ink real fast. And scoot this over as well. Okay, so we just did this one. And we just did this one. And then I'm going to show you the other ones that I made today. Working on these today. So I did one with green. You can't really see them up there, huh? I did a different one. And then I did one with some Tim Holtz Field Notes ephemera, and then I also use, this one is the transparencies. So I'll use that. I have more with the 49th and Market die cuts. 49th and Market washi stickers here. And then more die cuts. But all of these stamp pieces in the back are ones that I stamped. So Field Notes, Field Notes. This one has a label and washi. This one is Field Notes, a label, washi, and with washi stickers. So the template, you could say, of what I'm doing is similar, but because all of the stamped ephemera or snippet pieces I made were different in different colors, it gives it a different look. So they're similar, but not exactly the same. So I have a unique cluster each time with what I'm making. So you can start with some clusters and using all those little bits and bobs and pieces that you have that we all love to collect. I have lots of them. If you saw my room tour, I have, oh gosh, 9. Actually, I can't even count that fast, but lots of drawers up here. 2 sets of 16, no. 30, 2 sets of 30 drawers and 2 sets of 16 drawers that have pieces and parts. So, making some clusters and some library pockets. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Just a little quick something. Trying to get my filming skills up and my talking to myself, I feel like, but no, I'm talking to you, skills up, and maybe we'll give it a try. All right, have a great night. See you later.